All right, this thing is running Metroid Dread in 4K. Cleans up the cutscenes even. This is amazing. Got a live frame rate counter on there. So, you know, cutscenes and videos are typically shot in 30 frames. I'm only using an RTX 3070 on this. Fuse back to some actual gameplay. Playing this thing at 120 frames. Frame rate just changed from 30 frames to 120 frames. Gameplay is in 4K. Details are beautiful, man. So getting Series X performance. It's crazy, man. 4K 120, Metroid Dread. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy TKK here with another video. The grind does not stop. So today we're going to be talking about, as well as doing an unboxing for the Nintendo Switch OLED model. Now, before I go any forward with this, let me tell you, I did actually buy Metroid Dread. So I'm not telling you that I encourage you to commit any piracy acts or anything. Definitely support these developers, especially if it's a quality title. This is a really good game. But if you're a PC enthusiast, encourage you checking out the description. There's a link there where it'll kind of teach you how you can get some emulation on your PC. If you own the game, you can download the game, play the game that way. But I know there's been a lot of coverage all over YouTube. Anybody that's pretty much interested or who's stopping by this particular video of mine has seen the Switch OLED. You've also seen the unboxings of it and things like that. So what I want to do unique for my own video is just to kind of talk about some of the accessories, give you some comparisons, and tell you why I ended up getting this console. Now, I said previously, and I'll link a video here, where I wasn't going to get this thing. I was not interested in getting this at all, but it was an opportunity. You know, looking at the screen quality, I'm not expecting any extra boost in game performance. Nintendo hasn't said anything like that. So I've seen a backlash from a lot of people expecting, you know, higher frame rates and things like that. My initial issue with the Nintendo Switch OLED, the whole concept of it was just that I felt it was an opportunity for them to not only upgrade the screen quality with this physical unit in portable mode, but in dock mode for them to be able to put more hardware into the actual dock. That's the piece that's going to connect to the TV. So my thing is, I still stand by that firmly. They should have put some type of a graphical processing unit into the dock. Pair that with this so that when you're docking the console, you can get a similar performance boost like what I showed you in the beginning of this video with me playing Metroid Dread, all new game, on an OLED TV in 4K at 120 frames. Maybe this wouldn't net you 120 frames, but get you something better. That's essentially what I was going after in the previous video that I just put at the top of this particular video that you're watching. So we're going to go ahead and open this thing up, and then I want to cover some different accessories that I feel are going to be a great go-to, like the Split Pad Pro. This is an amazing accessory. I actually have the Split Pad Pro connected on my current Nintendo Switch. And also this 8-bit Do arcade stick is going to be a really nice treat too, especially if you modify this and upgrade it with some sound with buttons and sound with parts. So within this entire video, we're going to unbox this, talk about the comparisons, and we're going to talk about this stick and connectivity and things of that sort. All right. So it is Monday as I'm recording this. I'm going to render this and get it posted also, get this unboxing out of the way. One thing I do like about this particular one, this whole black and white theme is really clean to me. It just plays well into the whole OLED. You know, it's just a contrast thing. The OLED picture quality is just going to give you, bar none, the best representation of contrast. Joy-Cons are literally the same Joy-Cons that you would get in any other iteration of a Nintendo Switch platform. Drifting is still going to be an issue that hasn't been addressed, that can't be fixed as far as Nintendo is concerned. Here's the physical unit. So let's just take a look at the dock. My rants from my previous videos about this was that they should have put work into that, but it is what it is. We'll get around to talking about value also So let me just get all these accessories out. All right, so we got everything unboxed, and I got both of my Nintendo Switch consoles, the non-OLED and the OLED here present. So everything that's gonna come in the box with this particular new unit is gonna be an HDMI cable. You're going to have your controller, right? This is gonna fit both your left and your right Joy-Cons, which are present here, to give you more of that traditional controller feel instead of you just holding these. It gives you more grip, essentially. You're also gonna have two holders, wrist straps for your Joy-Cons. So if you are playing these in a free motion configuration, gives you some support so you don't throw them at your TV. And then lastly, you are gonna get the 40-watt charger. It's the same charger, doesn't require any extra power to charge this thing. The dock is going to be the first immediate change. The dock is going to fully come off. The previous dock has like a open close hinge mechanism. This actually comes off. The ports on the back, you're gonna have AC adapter for power. You're gonna have HDMI out, because this is how you would get this console connected to your TV. And then you're gonna have a LAN port on here, which is one of the first upgrades you'll see immediately. On the original Switch, there was a USB port there that was put there so that you can get a LAN adapter. Or you can plug in a hard drive or different things like that. But there's no USB port within the dock on the inside. That's going to just be a LAN adapter. So nice upgrade there. You're still gonna have your two female USB 2.0 ports. There's no indication that these are super speed, or there's no color there to indicate that they're USB 3.0. So you still get your two ports there. And you're gonna have a little asterisk there just to kind of indicate if you're in dock mode or not. There's a little LED indicator here to kind of let you know. This is white, as you can see, not black. Feels about the same. Got a nice rubberized grip here just to give it a little bit of flex or grip on a flat surface. You got some nice internal protection putting the Switch in so that you're not scratching up the handheld mode when you do place it on the dock. So some good stuff there. Now the actual Switch, just to kind of physically compare the two units, you are going to get a full motion kickstand with this one, right? So you can put it in what's called tablet mode, and in doing so means you can kind of holster it all the way back. Video I previously uploaded about a couple of arcade sticks. I used the original Switch and I had to lay it completely flat in order to play it in portable mode and also to be able to use like an arcade stick. So this is a welcome feature, because being able to put it in this position gives you access to the USB-C connector there, which means you can put an adapter and you can use an arcade stick. So you can just kind of play it on the go. This is a welcome upgrade versus the current Switch, or the older Switch just has this one solid kickstand, very small. You don't really have any different ways you can position it. That's pretty much it. And if you put any type of controllers or anything on it, good luck. Outside of that, the rail system is exactly the same. So the Split Pad Pro, which is an accessory I do recommend. I'm not sponsored. No, I don't have any affiliate links. It's just been a good tool for me. But that system works just the same on this particular new Switch as it does for the old Switch. I can't fully get the Split Pad Pro onto the older Switch. Once I have to push it down and click it in, I can no longer dock this. You can actually dock it on this. So that's definitely an upgrade with the kickstand mechanism. So we'll go into some more talking points in just a second. Okay, so cost differences, $300, $350. I'm just gonna tell you, this is definitely worth the price tag of $350, especially if you don't own a Switch. If you do own a Switch, you may still want to upgrade to get this. In the beginning of this video, when I was showing you Metroid Dread, it was running on my 77-inch LG C1 OLED, perfect blacks, and that's essentially what you're gonna get on this. You're gonna get much better contrast with the games that you might be playing. Metroid Dread was the perfect title for them to launch with this console, because the game has a lot of deep scenes, deep blacks, And contrasting is important. You have to be able to see things. There was actually one time I got a jump scare because one of the Emmys was running down a ledge. I don't have the footage to show you, and it scared the shit out of me because I'm playing it on my TV and I didn't notice that the ledge actually ended, right? So he just jumped right down on me. I was like, shit. It was because I couldn't see, but that's what you want. You want those really deep black scenes. Where so on this particular Switch, because it has an LED panel, those scenes aren't going to be as deep. They're not going to be as black. You're going to see a lot of grays when it's intended to be purely black. It's going to look smoky, foggy. That's really the biggest thing here, the screen. Also, screen size. You're going to have less bezel on this particular unit. It comes in at 6-inch. This is 7-inch. This is 6.2. So you're going to have a much thicker bezel on this. Think of it like the original iPad versus the current iPads. 9.7-inch older iPads had a really fat bezel on the side where the screen was 9.7. More modern 9.7-inch iPads had a thinner screen, thinner bezel with the same screen size. Of course, now iPads are now 10.2-inch, but that's my example. So picture quality, definitely worth the $50 upgrade to get you something, a larger screen. You have double storage in this. You get 64 gigs of internal storage there, so that's really welcome. 32 gigs here. Both of these units do still have a micro SD slot on them, so you can expand storage. How far you can go in that, I'm not sure, but you can expand storage on both of these units. My one thing that I felt they could have done, the dock on top of me feeling like there should have been some type of GPU inside of this. They could have put a micro or a full SD slot on this. I think it would have been extremely welcome to have a micro SD slot onto this particular unit. Doing so would have made it so that you would be able to essentially store more of your downloadable games onto this if you wanted to play it in dock mode. And you wouldn't have to rely on the 64 gigs there or the internal storage that you would add into it. So that's something I feel like they really missed on. I don't know what it would have cost to put a micro SD slot into this, but it would have been welcomed. All right, so another interesting find is they actually put the serial number for this Nintendo Switch on the kickstand. So they must be extremely confident in the strength of this kickstand, so they put the serial number on this. This is not on the Switch unit, it's on the actual kickstand, okay? Whereas to the original Switch, the serial number is on the bottom, okay? And by the way, my Switch, this Switch is an original Switch. It's original because it works for me. It's modified. With it being modified, I can put emulation. I can play homebrew. I can play my own Switch titles. I can just dump them onto my PC and play them and not have to worry about carrying game cartridges. That's not something that you can do with more modern Switches, certainly not with this new one. So for me personally, I hope that the community can figure something out to make this one do the same thing that this can do. So I'm not going to be looking to do any system updates on this, just with the hope that, that can be an option. All right, just an initial boot up of the new Switch OLED, just to kind of give you that comparison of picture quality. Not much, but if you're into upgrading with cell phones, you know that just a little bit more screen is going to be more welcome. Much thinner bezel, so you get more screen real estate versus the older unit. So not only more screen, but thinner bezel, just a much more attractive look and feel and representation of what you're looking to see when you're playing on this thing in handheld mode. All right, and then a side-by-side with Joy-Cons. The audio on this is surprisingly louder than on this one. I got max volume on both, and just the click sound that it made was so freaking loud on this. I'm impressed by that audio upgrade, as well as the speakers on this one seem to be like backfiring, whereas they're downfiring on this. So the placement might help with that also with the new kickstand. All right, this kickstand is pretty nice. It's nice. So it just kind of holds it up on its own. There's room for you to run your power cable right through it. So that's really nice, man. I like that a lot. That OLED picture quality is unbeatable. Biggest thing is at all angles, that picture is gonna look real consistent. Things start to wash out with this at an angle. Your blacks are gonna be more gray and such. All right, so the screen is certainly brighter on this particular model, which is impressive. The colors, I mean, it's everything that you would expect from using an OLED panel or display. You know, I mean, it doesn't absolutely reinvent the wheel, but in handheld mode, you would really appreciate just the picture quality that you'll get day to day using this versus using this particular unit. Like I said, this is going to be really big for a person if you haven't owned a Switch. If you're thinking about getting one, or if you sold yours, maybe you can sell your current one for a couple of $100, you know, to go towards the cost of this for $350. Welcome upgrade. So again, no performance changes, so we don't need to talk about frame rate, fluidity, or this is not what this is about. This is like the cusp of it is really larger display, higher volume, brighter display, better picture quality, better blacks. You know, like things I can see in person. Like the bar on this looks really, really good. It's more washed out on here. You know, those are things the camera probably won't pick up, but those are things that you'll definitely see. You know, just the colors, much more vivid. You know, so good stuff. Let's talk about some accessories real quick, namely my arcade stick. All right, this thing has a system update ready. I'm gonna try to avoid that at all costs right now. Like I said in earlier part of this video, you know, just in case somebody can crack the code within the next couple of weeks with this, it'll be nice to be able to get this upgraded. I don't plan on using the Switch for any online connectivity, so being able to have homebrew applications, being able to have a multitude of titles on the platform without the need of having the game cartridges inside are really what I would welcome and what I'd be happy with. So gonna not mess with that. Gonna connect arcade stick wirelessly to this though. All right, so some of the accessories that I think are gonna be great for this platform is number one, I'm a fighting game player, right? So a couple of weeks ago, I did a unboxing and a review and a modification. I've since that video done a modification with this 8-bit do arcade stick. It's actually a really good company. They make an array of different accessories and controllers. This arcade stick's a great option. Got it synchronized to the original Switch wirelessly through Bluetooth. So you've got a way to use this on Switch as well as on some other different platforms like PC. I've upgraded it by putting sound buttons and a stick inside of it. And so being able to have this thing in docked mode, or not docked mode, but handheld mode, and having the ability to play fighting games, things of that sort on the fly is definitely going to be an accessory that I would encourage you to get, especially if you know you're wanting to play fighting games and you want to be portable, having multiple people play to play games with. So that's definitely that. This company also does, same company, they make an accessory, a USB adapter, wireless adapter. This adapter gives you the ability to connect like Bluetooth controllers such as the PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X controller. Maybe if you got like a Logitech Bluetooth controller, any controller that you're gonna want to use, you can use this. So instead of you shoving out money to get a pro controller, you can buy this $20 adapter, connect it to the console, synchronize it up just like normal. So that's going to be a really welcome accessory to have. The last piece that I will speak on is going to be what I was talking about earlier, the Split Pad Pro. I do have two versions of this. I bought it twice. That's how much I like this thing. And what it does is it acts like Joy-Cons, and it just goes on to the actual console in handheld mode. and it's just going to give you some back buttons. It just makes it feel like you're playing on a more traditional style controller. You know, similar to if you were playing on a PlayStation or an Xbox controller, you have more grip. Biggest issue I always had with the Joy-Cons were that they're flat. They're flat, man. So there's nothing for you to really grab on. So playing this thing in handheld mode for hours, you'll literally be, you know, just holding it like that. Whereas to playing with something like this, it's more ergonomical. You know what I mean? I can play a game, not a fighting game, but a first player game like a Metroid Dread, you know, something like that, or Resident Evil with tank controls, or even something more new, more modern, you know, like Grand Theft Auto. I can play on here for a long time and be comfortable. So I definitely recommend you look into these accessories because I think that they will help enhance the experience with this particular platform. All right, so here are my talking points to conclude this video. Do I recommend this? I've already said in this video, I do recommend this. $350, welcome addition, honestly, especially if you don't have a Switch. The reason that I wouldn't get rid of this Switch is because it's very unique by way of the serial number. This is an original run of the Switch. So it's able to do things that you simply cannot do with this. Now, this even doesn't get a lot of use for me personally because the games that I dump, I can play on PC like I showed you in the beginning of this video. Playing a game like Metroid Dread in 4K at 120 frames per second, absolutely amazing, especially playing it on an OLED. So I'm getting literally a better experience than I ever could get even on this new platform. However, if you are strictly the console guy, or you don't have the beefy PC, or you want to play something mobile on the go, this does give you better battery life. This new Switch gives you better battery life than this original. It also gives you a larger screen. It gives you that brilliant, vivid colors, vibrant colors are there. The ultra black contrast that you'll get from looking at an OLED screen is going to be great. You're not going to be getting this expecting to get more frames. You're not going to be expecting to get a faster processor. It is literally the same internal guts by way of gameplay that you got from the original Switch, but it's only 50 bucks more. So if you got this and it's not an original like I have, I would encourage you, try to sell it. See if you can market it off, get a couple of $100 to get your hands on this platform. Would I play the resale value of this? No, because they're going for around $500, $600. You know, it's tough these days to get stuff at retail. If you can get this at retail for $350, get it, enjoy it. Welcome all the new features. The kickstand is amazing. The better battery, I'm sure, is going to be great. The larger screen is so good, man. Just going from a 6.2 to a 7-inch, like I said, it's like comparing cell phones. You know, you get a cell phone this year, the next year the cell phone is going to be, you know, 0.2 of an inch or, you know, a little bit bigger. And it's just like that little bit helps a lot. The OLED screen is amazing. If you've been using a Samsung or an iPhone phone over the last few generations, you see they have OLED panels. This now has that too. So amazing. I love the white and black aesthetic. I said that I wasn't going to get this, but the reason that I got it realistically was because I'm a tech influencer. And then I also have a son who lives with me. He said he wanted to switch, so maybe this will turn into like a gift for him. I'm not going to be looking to doing a system update on this just in case somebody does come along and they can modify this one or make it so this can run homebrew. Then that's what's going to happen to this. But for you guys that's looking for a new platform that you really avid with playing Nintendo games, it's great, man. You're going to love it for Pokemon, Mario, all of those different things. I'm excited for the Grand Theft Auto trilogy. That's going to look amazing on here, being able to play that with those nice crisp black levels. It's going to be good, man. But if you guys have any questions, like I said, I know this is widespread content. Everybody's covering the Nintendo Switch. But I wanted to give you my perspective on things and how I look at it and how I would utilize it and what I think about it. So if you got questions or comments on that, leave them in the box below. Check the description for how you can run Metroid Dread on your PC in 4K like I did in the beginning of this video. And until next time, Max Love.